Often called the Silicon Valley of the 19th century, the West Point Foundry was established in 1818 to supply the United States government with artillery. The primary reason for the establishment of the West Point Foundry was the result of the War of 1812. Although this war ended in a victory for the United States, the war became an example of the weakness of the American military. President James Madison wanted to fix this area of weakness, and the West Point Foundry was then established. The site of the West Point Foundry on the Hudson River was chosen because of the power of nature and the surrounding natural resources. There was a steady flowing brook called Margaret's Brook that helped power machines and a large deposit of iron close by, with forests that could be converted to charcoal, as well as high quality sand used for casting large steel work pieces. Also, the Hudson River provided accessible transportation, while the nearby location of the United States Military Academy at West Point ensured security. The West Point Foundry is located on 87 acres in the village of Cold Spring, New York. When the foundry was in operation, it employed between 500 and 1,500 furnace men, blacksmiths, carpenters, office and machine shop workers, as well as other skilled and unskilled workers. By the end of the Civil War, the demand for cannons had diminished, bringing the West Point Foundry to its financial decline. Various owners purchased the West Point Foundry through the years, but it never saw the success it had previously known. The history and the beauty of the surroundings was left unappreciated, except for an occasional hiker or jogger who embarked upon the beautiful surroundings on the Hudson. The 87-acre site continued to fall into ruins until 1996, when an environmental organization called Scenic Hudson purchased the site. The people from Scenic Hudson saw the scenic beauty as well as the important archaeology remains, and they worked to develop it into a historic preserve it is today. When you first enter the West Point Foundry Preserve, you see the big stainless steel letters WPFP, and under various signs throughout the preserve are brick fragments taken from the foundry's surface remains. Walking through the preserve and seeing these old bricks strategically placed reminds visitors of the historical past that once was. A replica of a historic gun platform has been constructed along with a sculpture model of a 36-foot water wheel that was used to power the mill. This outdoor museum allows visitors to explore the history of one of the most important sites in the Industrial Revolution. In 1973, the West Point Foundry was listed on the National Register of Historical Places in the United States. This was officially listed as of America's treasures worthy of preservation.